Great. So good morning, as I say. Thank you very much for joining us on the latest webinar in our monthly series of webinars. My name is Andrew Cowling. I'm the Channel Marketing Specialist at PFU EMEA Limited. And today I've also got Dan Melly, who is a partner manager of ours at PFU. What I wanted to do today was to talk to you in a little bit more depth around ScanSnap, predominantly the iX1500. This is a new model now that has been out for probably 7 or 8 months. It won't be long before it becomes our #1 selling scanner. So there's lots of opportunities and lots of potential for you to take to your customer bases around this machine. So I wanted just to talk to you about why this is different, what perhaps are some of the key benefits and USPs, perhaps some of the opportunity, as I say, that you can talk about with your customers. And really, I also wanted to bring in some thoughts around ScanSnap Home. And Dan is kindly on the webinar with us to run you through some of the features and perhaps look at some of the opportunity there that you can be talking about with your customer around how that's changed from previous versions. Then at the end, you'll have my usual few slides on our current channel initiatives. So ScanSnap as a brand is all around personal productivity. This is a range now of 5 devices that is essentially around helping your customers, enabling your customers through class-leading intuitive technology to change the way they work. So really moving away from paper-based processes to digital ways of working and experiencing the benefits that can bring. So that would be everything from better organization of their documents, more efficient ways of working, becoming more compliant, saving time and money ultimately. So you're moving away from paper-based filing systems, the complications there might be of finding documents, the implications of security on documents. So really about protecting that business from potential issues at a later date and becoming more efficient and productive. Of course, it's all around collaboration as well. It's all around how can companies better collaborate internally within themselves, but also to their client base. So how can they perhaps stay one step ahead of the competition by offering their clients an improved, faster service that is keeping them retained and perhaps helping them bring in new business opportunities. So one of the premises of ScanSnap is around the ease of use. It's all around take it out of the box, plug and play, and really at the touch of a button, you can become that IT expert. It's very much about how can we save time during the pre-scan process. So there's no need to pre-sort documents into multiple batches of different size and different types of documents. You can literally throw a batch through, say, the iX1500, and that will intuitively sort those documents. It will crop those documents. It will take out any deskew. It will automatically recognize what's being scanned in black and white and what's being scanned in color and display accordingly. So very much about taking out that pre-scan hassle perhaps that might be incurred with other devices such as multifunction devices. During the scan process, it's all about intuitively cleaning up and making sure that the best image is displayed, so that during the post-scan operation, you're not having to do any, I suppose, manual intervention on those documents that have been processed. And we've now hit 5 million scanners globally. So ScanSnap is a huge brand. It probably wasn't that long ago in my webinar that we were talking about 4 million scanners sold. So this number is massively increasing. So we've now hit 5 million scanners. So a huge install base that we have of ScanSnap out there. There are 3 elements to ScanSnap and the iX1500, and that's all around simplicity, control, and collaboration. So probably hitting on some of the points that I've already spoken about in terms of what is the differentiator between ScanSnap and maybe other devices out there. So it's really the smarter way to work. work for, not just offices, but also perhaps Soho, so users that might be at home working, but also for small teams, and we'll touch upon that in a minute. So in terms of simplicity, it is that quick and efficient way of use. So we have the touchscreen that's now a brand new feature on ScanSnap. So if you remember previous devices like the iX1500, what you would do is you would scan your documents by pressing a blue button. They would process those documents, and then you're presented with a screen as to what you'd like to do with that document. You now have the ability with the iX1500 to actually decide where you want those documents to go in the first place through that touchscreen. You can, of course, still scan, as you maybe have done with other documents, with other ScanSnaps, by pressing the blue button or initiating the scan via the app. But one of the simple things around the iX1500 is the ability to set up profiles, and you'll see more of that later. Set up those profiles, choose where you'd like that document to go, and then one touch, off it goes. The control with the iX1500 is all around creating personal functions, personalizing those functions so that you can far more easily manage, search and retrieve. And again, this is something that we'll touch upon within ScanSnap Home and the quick overview that we're going to do there. And scanning what you need, where you need it, whenever you need it. So the iX1500 is also a portable device, so you could plug and play from multiple locations. And from that, I mean that there is the ability through the iX1500 to offer that across multiple users. And I believe that's 4, is that right, Dan?
4, that's right.
Yeah. So there's up to 4 users can be licensed through the iX1500. So there is the ability to share that amongst a team or a smaller company. One of the beauties of ScanSnap, and particularly the iX100 and the iX1500, is that we have a great piece of routing software called ScanSnap Cloud. What this does is this takes even another step away from the scan process, because it allows you to preset where you would like particular types of documents to go. So let's take, for example, receipts. You could say through ScanSnap Cloud, if we were to scan a receipt through the iX1500, it's going to go to Expensify. Or if it sees a document, it might be a brochure or it might be a contract, that's going to go into Dropbox. So you can preset those profiles, and then through ScanSnap Cloud, you would scan, and then it would automatically recognize that document, and off it goes. So there's not even a step required here, it's just scan, away it goes. So great features, as you could imagine, for say the iX100 if you have mobile workers that might be scanning in receipts to expense systems, and very much talking to people like accountants, bookkeepers, and perhaps the clients of accountants as well, who maybe want to scan straight into expense packages that they could then pass on as a digital package to an accountant to then better manage. So it's a far more easier way of sharing documents, not just with colleagues, but across friends, family, and clients. So we have 5 levels of difference that we talk about for the iX1500. We have the touchscreen that you can now see better here that I have spoken about in earlier, and you've got the profile selections along the top here. So up to 30 profiles could be selected, and these could vary from an email address. These could be sending to a cloud account, a local drive, and so on. So set up those buttons, scan at one touch, and then ScanSnap will automatically recognize and send those off to different locations. We have the ability to have this as a home for everyone, so multiple users, everyone in a team, no matter what their job function might be. And these profiles could be drilled down to sending an invoice to an account's email address. So really looking at specific job roles within an organization could have specific buttons that are set up for exactly what they're looking to do with their scanner. Could be buttons for HR and sending those into particular workflows. It adapts to you. So the buzzword with a lot of technology now is all around AI, and how can we make life even easier and start to recognize and understand how people are using that device, and then adapting and encouraging and suggesting ways that things could become easier. So software within the iX1500s will automatically sort and process and suggest file names for images. So really learning about how you are working and how you are scanning. And that's great because that really helps at a later date for that search and retrieval part of scan, and then the ultimate release. So the more you use it, the better it gets. I've not really mentioned about some of the technical features. We have previous webinars that really dive into compatibility and speeds, but I guess one of the key ones that I've not really mentioned is this is now a 30 page a minute device. And that will be both sides at the same time at A4. We also have the ADF capacity of 50 pages. We have the design that really works. Naturally, we'd say that, but it is a very nice looking device. We have the automatic document feeder that, as that opens, it automatically powers up, so it's instantly ready to use. You just have to lift the cover and away you go. As I mentioned earlier, you've got the ability to scan multiple types of documents at the same time, so not just multiple pages, or sorry, multiple sizes of pages, but also thickness differentials as well. So what you've got here is you have 3 different documents, but you'll see you've got a little plastic guide feed. So that really just helps the user to make sure that document is going through in the correct place, and just helps for better feeding. And then the last slide around the iX1500 was onto ScanSnap Home. So at this point, I just will hand you over to Dan to talk a little bit more about ScanSnap Home. So let me just make sure you're still a presenter, Dan. Right, I can see your screen.
Lovely. I just need to get rid of that. All right. Thank you very much, Andy. That was really good. So thank you very much, everyone. It's nice to be here, to be able to be a part of one of these webinars. Andy's asked me to kind of talk a little bit about the ScanSnap Home software, just to kind of give you a bit of a walk and talk through it, really, just a little bit of a familiarity of what kind of options, what kind of features you've got on ScanSnap Home. It's kind of worth mentioning for those people that perhaps don't know that the previous incarnation of our ScanSnap software was ScanSnap Manager, and what that was is basically one button on the scanner on the iX1500, and that one button then kind of prompted a what would you like to do with this document kind of decision path afterwards. And there was several different applications. There was business cards, there was receipts, there was document kind of applications, and these were all very much separate kind of applications within your PC. Now that's all been combined, it's all been kind of harmonized into the one, the ScanSnap Home. So everything is driven from here. So for new users of ScanSnap, actually this is very intuitive. It's all very easy to use and very, very kind of common sense. For previous users of ScanSnap, they may see quite a difference, because the whole thing about ScanSnap Home is being able to set up jobs, to set up those kind of rules before the scan event actually happens. So then when you're actually scanning, the one button push can be as easy as possible. So there may be a slight kind of getting used to that new way of working, and like anything, you know, when there's an upgrade, when there's a difference, all you have to do is just kind of get stuck in, learn how to use the system, and then it becomes really easy after that. So let me just take you through a quick walk and talk. So you're seeing my desktop here, you're not seeing the scanner. I have a scanner next to me. It's worth noting that I can drive all of these that I'm going to be doing now either from the scanner, from the actual front of the scanner, or from ScanSnap Home on my PC, on my laptop, wherever that might be. I'm going to kind of have a quick walk through. So at the moment I've got a big open kind of there's nothing in in my desktop here, so this is kind of as fresh as possible. I'm going to have a little walk through with you now. So we've got our big blue scan button here. This will be where our files will start appearing, and we'll see those as we start scanning. We've got some information here which is going to start getting populated. We can tinker this as much as we want, and we'll see how this changes from the different file types or the different document types. We've got a little search bar up here as well, and this is where we'll see our thumbnails of all our scans once we start scanning. Here we can you've got a couple of different view modes, so you can see them in a summary, you can see them as thumbnails, or you can see them as a list. So pretty simple, first of all. And as you kind of look through these tools here, these are all pretty simples. We won't need to go through too many of those at the moment, just a couple on the settings, but let's crack on. So I've got my first scan job. My first scan job is to pick up all of the loose bits of paper on my desktop. I don't really want to have to categorize them or sort them and then scan them. I just want to pick everything up at the same time and clear my desk. So if I go to a scan button, here's where you can see, and Andy was talking about the different scan jobs. So you can have up to 30 scan jobs onto here, shared between those press that quick button, shared between the four kind of licensed users. But the ScanSnap has an amazing kind of ability to have multiple people using it, so up to 4 out of the box, which means it's perfect for small work groups or kind of a small shared environment as well as the personal user. So nice and bold, nice and simple. This is pretty much what you'll see on the touchscreen of the scanner as well. Auto scan. I've set up a few jobs here in advance, and I'll set up and tinker with some of these settings as well, so you can see how easy this is. And for each one of these jobs, it's showing me the kind of scan preferences that I've already pre-set up, and you'll see these change as I flip through the jobs as well. So these are dedicated scan jobs I've set up. Right, so time to clear my desk and to get rid of all this loose paperwork. Auto scan, scan everything. So that's going to go through now. So I've put 5 little slips, little notification there, and then that's where the scan starts coming through. Now watch as these start to populate and get recognized by the scanner, because here now in document type, it's starting to categorize the documents. So let's walk you through this first of all. So first of all, we've got our scanned image. So we've got a little thumbnail here, and then we've got a little icon to give me a differential between what kind of document it is. So let's have a little look. So this kind of stands for a business card, quite clear. So it's kind of a business card there. We've got a receipt. We've got another receipt, and then a document. So already it's beginning to intelligently sort through what kind of documents via shape, size, the information on them, and be able to categorize them in these different types, which is so handy that it's being able to kind of understand what are the kind of documents I'm putting through already. And then as I click onto one of these, you can see this basic information screen has begun to populate. So if I kind of expand this a little bit, it understands the document type. It started to give it a title. So it started to read, and it's kind of trying to intuitively say to me, I think this is what I'm going to call it. And I can change this. If that's incorrect, I can change it here and now. And I can also set up some other preset naming conventions as well. But how handy that you don't have to right click, save as, and name your document. Gives me the date, time, other information about the document, where it's going to be scanned, a little bit more information about what's actually held on that document type as well. So really, really intelligent, really nice to be able to kind of give me some information on there, and that's going to help me for my retrieval as well, because it's understood, it's OCR'd the whole document. It's going to allow me to retrieve that document nice and easy. It changes over here slightly the different document type, because of course it's a receipt, so of course you can extrapolate or ask it to fill out more information that's pertinent to that particular document type. So things like amount, how much tax, what kind of card payment it was, what kind of card it was, the card number, should that be on the receipt as well. And you can tinker around with this and alter this to your preference as well. So again, depending on the document type, really nice to be able to have a little summary of what's on that document there. It understands what it is. It's beginning to categorize. And that's the intelligence of ScanSnap Home, really. That's the intelligence of the 1500, being able to understand what your documents are. And if I do the same for a A4 document, pretty simple actually, just the date, time, all that kind of good stuff, where it's been scanned, and a little bit more information about it there. Let's have a look at quality. So this is a receipt I've scanned, nice and clear, nice and bold. It's easy to read, and of course it's giving me lots of different tools to be able to view and to manipulate that in ways that I need to. So that's great. And if I give you a quick show of the A4 document, if I kind of just zoom into this, again, nice and clear for me to be able to either view or to use that document as I need to, as I see fit. Okay. So it's scanned and it's understood what my documents are. It's beginning to sort as well for me. So it's begun to populate it in these little subcategories. So if I just wanted to, months and months later on down the line, just look at all the business cards that I've scanned, all I have to do is click onto this little icon here and it'll show me everything that's been categorized as a business card or a receipt. So for those people that are, say for example, let's look at the situation of a small medium business. Somebody deals with lots of receipts and lots of expenses, lots of purchases. For example, if you're a tradesperson and you're buying lots of hardware, and rather than having your receipts in this huge, great big 2-inch thick wallet or in a shoebox or in the front of your van, rolling from side to side, you can just actually scan these. They're in a category where you can come in and find them. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment as well. If I was to go back to the main screen where we've got all the different document types, let's have a look at the search functionality as well. Because it OCRs everything, because it understands the content that's on the document, makes it very easy to retrieve. So if I was to type in the word grill, I've got 2 receipts that's popped up, and that's because, of course, they have the word grill written on them. So the scan, store and retrieve element of this is very, very simple. Cool. Let's have a look at some of the other settings as well. So that's auto scan. That's put everything into the one area for me, and I'll search and I'll kind of look into these different subcategories to find the document. But if I wanted to be a little bit more specific, for example, and set up some dedicated jobs, and like Andy was saying earlier, these could be HR jobs with a HR destination. It could be a financial area that it's sitting in. So it would have a financial kind of destination. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just load this this scanner with a document. I'm going to have a look first of all at scan to Word. So if I I'll show you how that's been set up in a moment. If I just scan that. So I've already had some pre-settings on this document type. Asked it to scan to Word. You'll see down here very shortly, there's a recognizing, and it's a conversion to Microsoft Word. And that is all free, all part and parcel of ScanSnap Home. That's something that anyone can do nice and easy. How easy is that to be able to scan something, a document type, and then be able to have immediately a document which you can manipulate, you can change, you can adapt and suit your desires. How good for anyone to be able to kind of do that rather than retype and to rejig. Schools, for example, teachers that need to adapt kind of documents and things like that. How easy is it just to kind of go in rather than copying or rather than kind of doing anything time consuming, a quick scan, and you can change it into a fully working document. And because it opens up in Word, I can do anything I need to do just like I can in Word. So fantastic there. That's definitely worth noting. Again, something else which you can do for free, which you can use, it is a scan to Excel. I'm going to use the same document type. I'm going to scan that in. Just recognizing that document. Even though it's opened in Word, even though it's opened in Excel, it's converting it to an Excel and a Word file, but the actual original document is still being stored within ScanSnap Home. Right. And there you go. So you now have that same document, slightly abridged, for example, because you don't have the QR code that was on the bottom, you don't have some of the diagrams on there, but it's imported the text into an Excel spreadsheet. Again, you can completely manipulate that as you see fit, and then put that into your workflow or whatever that needs to do with that. And again, because it opens up in an Excel spreadsheet, you can do anything that you can do on an Excel. So really handy, really useful there. And I'm going to show you something very useful in a moment as well, regards to scan to Excel. Receipts. So no surprise there that you can have something dedicated for all your different scan jobs. And I've got one set for receipts. Quick scan. And that's going to keep my receipts for me there. But it's not just converting it. Okay. There you go. That's not really going to convert it. It's just a different destination. So let's have a look at how I kind of set that up. Any one of these jobs can be easily changed or adapted. You can drive it by, and these are on your PC or your laptop. They're not on the scanner. You can't do this from the scanner face itself. You do it from ScanSnap Home on your PC or your laptop. But I'm going to edit that profile. This is where I can start getting a little bit more detailed about what I want and what I want it to do. So first of all, I can actually change the icon. So there's a selection of icons you can use. Mine's red. Remember we said that you can have 4 different users. So my icons are red. However, your colleague, your partner, your friend can have a yellow, green, blue, whatever kind of suits. So you can differentiate one profile from another. So you can change the icon. You can change the wording of that as well. So where it says scan to Word, you can change the title of it. And here's then where you can start changing your job settings. So these here represent these settings here. So you can have a color mode of automatic, probably useful for things like scan to Word. With a receipt, would you need that so much? Probably not. So then on a receipt, you can change it to black and white. How many sides shall I scan, simplex or duplex? What's the image quality going to be like? And then more importantly, what am I going to do with it afterwards? First of all, the scan to Word has to be set, Abby scan to Word, and here's the different kind of selections you can actually change. So you can scan to PowerPoint, Excel, Word, scan to an email or a folder, or scan to a file. So you've got these choices here. And of course, then your distant destination comes into play as well, where you want that saved on your network. So that's nice and easy. I've set up quite a few jobs here, but what I haven't set up is a job for my expenses. I'm going to be doing lots of shows coming up this September. We're going to be showing and demonstrating ScanSnap, the iX1500. We're going to be kind of out there talking to the members of the public who do love this scanner, who love ScanSnap as a brand. We always get kind of great reviews when we talk to our public about the ScanSnap brand. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously spend a lot of money in terms of lunches and coffees, keeping everyone going, and maybe a few beers afterwards. So I'm going to set up a quick profile. I'm going to set up a business trip expense job. So here's where I can kind of start getting a little bit more bespoke. So business trip expenses, I don't want, it's all going to be receipts, so I don't need it in color. It's probably going to be one-sided, but I'm going to be just safe, just in case. Image quality best, well, I don't want any kind of conflicts with my expenses once I submit them. So yes, I'm going to ask for the best image quality. That's brilliant. Other detailed settings, really easy. How do you want it titled? I'm going to ask it to title it automatically. This is where here it starts to extrapolate the information from the document and starts to title it. So I'm going to keep it like that because I kind of quite like that. If I want to be able to search for my Costa coffee receipts, it will then search for cost of coffee. But you can kind of use dates, you can use file names, you can change the date format, nice and easy. File formats, PDF, JPEG, easy as. Scan, a little bit more detailed to what I was just doing just there, but this is where you can kind of set your kind of job preferences, and then of course your file size as well. So I'm happy with this. I'd like when I'm scanning to be a manual scan, and that's because I'm going to be feeding one receipt after another, or actually no, I'm going to use the paper sorter and I'm going to pop all my receipts in at the same time, and I'm just going to do a normal scan. Where do I want it saved? Well, I'll probably want to save it in my scan demo folder, and I will create a folder for that. So now all of my receipts for September will be stored in this network drive. Select that. Brilliant. Fantastic. And I don't need to do anything else fancy with it. I don't need to send it to any other application. So actually, I might want to send it to an application. Perhaps I could send it to, oh, actually, not that. It is my save destination, PC Cloud. What kind of service do I want to send it to? I'll tell you what, if I send it straight to my Concur, that might make it nice and easy for me. So here is where we have lots of different applications that you can scan directly into. Once that's been set up and you've put your username and password, that then saves it as a cloud destination. How easy can that be? So my SAP Concur, this is where I would click that, log in, connect the two applications, and then as I scan, it'll go straight into my Concur program, ready for me then to submit my expenses. Nice and easy. So that's that. That's what happens setting up a new profile. And again, you can change any profile just as simply. Click on the profile, click on edit, and you can change all of these different settings. So really intuitive, very easy to use, very simple to set up in advance. And then of course, once you have that advanced setup, then scanning becomes very, very simple along there. So Andy was saying earlier on about the opportunity, and the opportunity is clear. It is our best-selling scanner range, the ScanSnap. It's well known, it's well loved. Ask your customers. Everybody has a working knowledge of ScanSnap or an understanding of the ScanSnap brand. And as Andy was saying, there's about 5 million different units out there. Some have been out there for quite a while. So what a great opportunity to talk about the next range, the next generation of ScanSnap. This is the standard going forwards, the iX1500 and all of its features and its intuitive use, and how that can be a benefit to your customer going forwards, how that can help them to manage, sort, and just help their productivity in whatever way that they need it to use, whether you're a small, medium business, a personal consumer, or even a large enterprise with just dedicated users of this particular scanner, because it's not a document management system, it's a manage my documents well. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I need to kind of go through there. Does that sound about right, Andy? That's all good. I'm getting a thumbs up. Cool. Okay, I'll let Andy switch me back over to him. And thank you very much for your time.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Dan. That was a really useful overview of ScanSnap Home, and I hope it's really given you a good insight as to what the changes have been and what the improvements have been with the introduction of the ScanSnap iX1500. And hopefully you can see some of the conversations that you can now start to be having with your customers that will help them in their daily processes. So we're very keen to help you. So if you'd like us to work with you on perhaps targeting old users of ScanSnap, that may wish or may have a need to upgrade, or if you'd like to be targeting specific subsets of your data with some messaging around ScanSnap, then please talk to your account manager, and I'm sure we can work with you to get some comms out there and to really try and drive that business. And of course, once we've got more of an iX1500 install base, we've then got opportunities to understand how people are using it, what they think of it, and that can drive more conversations. Equally, if you'd like to get hold of an evaluation copy of ScanSnap Home, if you've got a ScanSnap sat in your office, then please let us know. We can easily help out with that so that you can have a play. You can really understand how simple it is and easy it is to set up those profiles, to use ScanSnap Home, and the real benefits that you can start to get once you're a heavier user of ScanSnap. So very quickly from myself, we've got a few last slides on our current channel initiatives. I appreciate we're a little bit over time, but hopefully you'll bear with me. So imaging awards, hopefully you're members. If you're not, then please sign up. This is a great platform, a great way of earning points for engagement with us. So log sales will give you extra bonus points for certain products every month, and there's also a number of ongoing promotions. So for the month of August, for yourselves as resellers, there are bonus points for the 7300, and we now have bonus points on two of our very new production machines, the 7800 and 7900. So make sure you're logging your sales, you'll get your bonus points and your base points credited to your account that you can then use to swap for prizes. For distribution, we have bonus points on referring. So anyone that you refer to join to the platform, you'll get bonus points for. You also get the bonus points for every service plan that's sold, as well as I believe our SP models are on the list. So and we haven't changed those for a while, so I'm fairly sure it's the SP as well. This is just a quick way to show how to refer people. So anyone can get points for referring. If you click on a little icon at the top here, refer a colleague, get them to join up, and you'll automatically be credited with 1,000 points when they join up to the platform. So an easy way of getting extra points. Could even be other people in your organization. We have a promotion called 123 ongoing at the moment, 123 Draw. This is a campaign and a promotion focused on resellers within a particular country, these 16 countries. So apologies if you're not on the list, but what this is basically saying is that log your sales as normal, you'll get your base points, you get your bonus points, but you can also now get tokens into a draw. There are monthly prizes, but there's also a selection of prizes at the end as well that you could potentially win. So this runs until the end of September. So you've got just over a month and a bit to log sales, or sell products, I should say, and then you've got until the 12th of October to log those final sales that you've made in September. You get tokens for particular products within a range. So for every third unit you sell within a particular category, you would get a certain number of tokens. So if you sold 3 iX1500s, you'd get 1 token. If you sold 1 iX1500 and 2 iX100s, you'd also get 1 token. So it's 3 products within that same category. And that goes all the way up to our high-end production machines where you could be getting 4 or even 5 tokens. We have the monthly prizes I've mentioned, and we've already given out. July's and August's will be drawn in a couple of weeks' time. But the main prizes, we've chosen 3 main prizes. This could be a Bose sound system, it could be a trip to Milan for you and a partner, and it could be a golf experience for up to 4 people. What we're also saying though is you could choose an equivalent prize up to the value of 500,000, 500,000 imaging reward points. So if you were to win the main prize, you could choose 3 of our tailored prizes, or you could choose something else up to a specific value. So all I'd say is please make sure you're members of the platforms, logging those sales and collecting those tokens. We have a brand new product launch coming up in early October. You've probably seen some comms around this, and we'd love you to be a part of the day itself. We are doing two activities. One of those is a virtual launch. So again, you should have had those comms inviting you to register for the virtual launch. If not, please visit our URL. And basically what this would be is you would join the day itself virtually, where we would present to you the new scanner. We would talk to you around the opportunities, give you some demos, and walk you through this new scanner, as well as there being the ability to explore other areas of our current product portfolio within these virtual environments. What we also have, and apologies, I've only put down Baker Street here, which is in London, but we will have live launches on that day as well. So I believe it's going to be in about 10 different destinations. So from London to Paris to Dubai to Milan and so on, we will have live launches. So your own account managers should be sending out some personal invites. So again, please keep an eye out on comms, and we'd love you to be part of this day. We're very excited ourselves. This is a very different scanner, and we're looking forward to working with you to target this to your customer base. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining us. It is appreciated. I know we're in the depths of summer, so yeah, probably most of you are joining from sun lounges maybe, but no, thank you for joining. We've got a good webinar coming up in September, mid-September, with one of our ISV partners. So I don't know whether you've joined previous ISV webinars that we've hosted, where we actually partner up with an ISV, an independent software vendor, and we're talking a bit more about a solution. So rather than just this is the scanner part, we're talking about the solution part. So our scanner with an ISV's specific solution, and what is the opportunity? How can we help you take that solution to your customer base? And these might be very niche at specific vertical markets, or it might be a bit more wide ranging. So the one we have coming up with is with a great company called Lamana, and very much involved in machine learning processes, artificial intelligence, and so on. So keep an eye out for comms around that. If you're an ISV on the call, or you know of an ISV who might be interested in working with us to reach a wider community, then please contact me or your account manager. So as I say, thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of the summer holidays. And I look forward to joining you again in September on either our channel webinar, our ISV webinar, or maybe on our launch day of the new product in October. So thank you very much, and goodbye.